Okay, this is my European 128D. It's the plastic, it's got the handle, got the spot to carry the keyboard underneath it. Someone on a Facebook group is having the same issue that this one's having. I've never got into it and fixed it because I always put it in 64 mode and run it. But anyway, what it does, when you turn it on in 128 mode, oops, I'm grabbing the back like our other 128D. When you turn it on in 128 mode, it never gives you a ready prompt. Stays on locked up on the screen, and it's not the 80 column mode, because if it was the 80 column mode, there wouldn't be anything on it at all. See, like this, doesn't show you information. So it's not the 80 column mode. It's actually something to do with the 1571. It'll work in 64 mode, which I'll show you. Holding down the Commodore key, we get our ready prompt. We can use it. We can even use the drive. But in 128 mode, it wants to run in 1571 mode, and it locks up like the previous screen I showed you a minute ago. Just stays right there. So my workaround was simple. I installed a device number switch to change it from device 8 to device 9. And when I did that, after it checks the drive, it goes right to your ready prompt. So it's something to do with the 1571 mode on the internal drive, okay? I know that doesn't fix the problem, but I never use the internal drive. I'm always using my FD4000. That's my device 8 that I always use anyway. So, you know, to solve my problem was simple: install a device switch. So what I'm gonna do is open this up and show you how to test to see if it is the drive or it's not the drive. And by doing that, you just unplug your 1571. So I'm gonna take this apart real quick and show you what to do. Here it is, all opened up. And this is different from the 128D DCR, the American version, in that this is actually just a 128 motherboard here. So if you ever had to replace the motherboard, you can use one out of a flat 128. You'd have to put the pin header over here for the keyboard, which is no big deal. But anyway, all you got to do to take off the power from the drive is this clip right here, because this is the motherboard for the 1571 drive right here. So it's a whole separate thing. All the power for the board is over here. So you could just unplug that, and so now no power is going to your 1571 drive. What I did was take all these clips off. Let me get this shield off real quick. I won't cut the video because it's only just a couple of screws, if one, I think. I'll do it really fast. What I did was, like I said a minute ago, is add in a device number switch. And you do that right here on the kind of bent all these little metal things back too. When I got this, I converted it over to a different power supply, so I wouldn't have to use an adapter. So I put a whole separate switch and power supply in here. So I've been in here a few times. But anyway, right here is your J1. So I put 2 wires going to a little toggle switch. Where is it? Right here. So when it's on, the connection's made, and it's device 8, and when it's off, it's 9. So it's just like it's hard to see because I got the wires, but see this jumper number 2 here has got the connector that connects the 2 pads. So what you would do is you cut that little connector between there and put one side of the wire on each pad. If I had 2 of them, then I could go all the way up to 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to device 11. But you know, I don't need to switch it that high, so I just got it on J1 right here. Zoom out so they can see where that is on the board, the whole board. So this is your board in your 128D here. So it's on the back side of the board, away from the drive itself, located right here. So if you want to try that, that's where it's located. Otherwise, you should be able just to unplug the power from it, boot it up. If it boots up in 128 mode, then you know your problem is on this board. It's got something to do with looking for the 1571 mode, so or the auto boot sequence on the 1571. But either way, like I said, I didn't get into it because it's always running in 64 mode, or now I can run it in 128 mode, and I just run it off of my FD drive. But hopefully this will help somebody out and get you through and until you can get it fixed.